What's going on? Welcome in to Dollars to Deuces, episode number 43. This is week 13. Talking NFL spreads, player props, some survivor pool, and some confidence picks as well. This is a Toilets to Titles production. Just real quick, too, for the younger listeners, this is a gambling show, so you probably should be 21 anyways, and there may be some foul language used from time to time because we're talking about our bad beats and our teams that we hate sometimes. Anyways, like always, I am joined by my two pals to the side here, Mr. Freedom Bandito at freedombandito_FF. Rich, what's good, dude?
All good. On vacation this week. And why is it when you always take a vacation where you actually don't go nowhere, you feel like you're not on vacation?
Probably because your phone's ringing from work. Got to turn that thing off.
That, and it's just like, I still have to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning, take my son to freaking go work out at school, everything. So it's like,
he can walk his ass to school.
Well, heck, one more month and he's driving himself to freaking school.
It's not even cold down there. You live in the heat.
It's hot right now. It's 37 degrees. So
hotter than it is here. It's colder than shit here. It's nasty here.
Yes.
Single digits right now with the wind chill. As always, joined by my pal Abe at MVinFF. How we doing tonight, buddy?
Good. I need to apologize ahead of time. I have barely anything left in my cocktail. So if I disappear for a few minutes to make another one, I did not time this out correctly. I apologize for that. But yeah, things are good. Thanksgiving week's over. You know, now we're getting close to the fantasy football playoffs, and we're riding down to the last quarter of the season. So that's kind of depressing, but yeah, things are good. We're looking up.
You know, and actually it makes me think of this. I was in St. Louis Sunday, some family stuff down there, and I went to a bar and I saw they had, they actually that big ass like soccer thing they're building. That thing's big as shit. I don't know what they're building it for, but anyways, they had a flag and had like all four teams and the Battlehawks were on it. So, hey, we got football in the spring, dude.
We do.
You know?
We do.
Yeah. XFL's back.
Big Battlehawks fans here.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. That's right. That's right. Oh, hey, Rich, there's like 3 XFL teams in Texas, isn't there? I don't think nothing like in Oklahoma, but
we have and it's not an XFL team. We have I don't know if you're gonna call it minor league football division and stuff like that. We actually had there. I read in an article on one of the newspapers. We're building a new stadium for them, so maybe they convert into an XFL. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know. I think there's 3 teams in Texas. I don't remember. I don't know how many. I don't remember all the teams now, but I don't know. I just like football year round. I didn't care. Unless the XFL wasn't that bad of a product. It's not the NFL, but you know,
it's football. That's all we want.
Better than watching college spring games.
Yeah, it's football.
So, yeah, hell yeah. So you can follow the show on Twitter at Toilets Titles. My Twitter handle is at Nate_Dirt19. How to listen, obviously, if you're watching right now on YouTube. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Facebook, Twitch. Got 2 pages actually on Facebook. I think that I hit them all there. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button. We'd appreciate that. So you know when we're going live. Like I said, I think 5 nights a week we go live. A couple nights we have 2 shows. Just a ton of stuff all the time. Toiletstyles.com. All our videos, articles, NFL content, fantasy content is there. Check it out. They're actually going to be doing we're adding some new stuff to it pretty soon. It's pretty exciting. So please check that out. Patreon.com/Toilets Titles. If you're watching on YouTube, the tiers are scrolling by on the bottom. There's 5 different tiers, tons of stuff on right now. Like I said, there's tons of every single day. I mean, it'd be honest, it's hard to keep up with the Discord chat sometimes. There's just so much stuff going on, so much, people asking questions all the time. Really, really good information in there. So, it's like $3 a month. So check it out. Oh, well, hey, Rich, you had a good week last week. Not just your picks, but Bo, Josh Jacobs, Jackson. God damn, dude. 300, how many yards? 350 some yards or something like that?
Yeah,
Gosh,
he had like
darn.
201, over 200 yards rushing, 74 yards receiving. But that last run of the game to seal it in freaking overtime. 2 weeks in a row, Raiders walk off, touchdown
overtime
in overtime.
Winners.
Yeah.
God, that is
freaking beautiful.
Well, because it was last year. I mean, I know I'm not trying to poke fun. Last year they won 8 games or something last year, and there was like 4 or 5 overtime games, or like just so many of those 1-score games. And I know we talk about like the Vikings are the same way. Where they lost them all last year. Well, they won them this year. Like that's all it takes, literally, to like go from hey, we're having a hell of a season to like this team fucking stinks.
Yeah, and so, Derek Carr is 9-1 or 9-2 in overtime. So,
Hey, I like that.
but
Yeah,
Josh
shit,
Jacobs
he
was
likes
a
that.
man last week.
Just skip the first 60 minutes then. Just say
Yeah.
like, let's just play. So let's just do a coin flip and play Sunday. First 15. That's it.
Are you serious, man? Then my blood pressure wouldn't go up and down freaking like Nate does.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
That's the whole point of watching football.
You know what? I didn't tell that new doctor today that maybe it's because the Packers season's been so shitty that my blood pressure is like
That's the first thing I thought of when you told me that. I'm like, well, the Packers weren't so damn bad. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. So you can blame LaFleur like you do for everything else on that.
That's what I should have told the guy. I'm gonna call him tomorrow and tell him like, hey, I forgot to tell you whether my blood pressure's high. That son of a bitch.
Well, to be honest with you and stuff like that, my weeks are either up and down based off the Raiders. So if the Raiders usually win, I'm usually having a good week because I'm the only one that picks them. So
Hey, we're doing it for you.
I get it. I get it. It's kind of like I'm laughing with you, not at you. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely doing it for you.
Hey, and we all had good picks in the Survivor last week. All three of us got them in. We'll start off with that real quick. I had the Dolphins. That game was over in a hurry. Abe had the Commandos and Rich had the Cowboys. That Commandos game, I was watching it. I was like, dude, they're like one pass away from losing that football game. And it would have fucked all of us up because I mean I think we all picked the Commanders. I was at -4.5. And I said the Falcons, I think that'd be a good bet. I need to look it up, or if somebody look it up, what they are to win the NFC South. Dude, they might win the South. I know they're like 4-6, but they're in every game.
I mean, another like even probably longer shot is the Panthers. I mean, they're only a game back also, and their schedule's a little bit easier.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Kyle Pitts is gone. I actually picked the Steelers this week. Big surprise, but I mean, just because Mariota's so bad, but they're in every game. Their defense is a lot better than you think. That Art Smith's a good coach. I don't know what it is like, but they're in their games all the time.
Plus 750.
That's pretty good. That's not a bad little bet. Like, oh hey, it's $10. But then I say that and they're gonna get they'll get their ass kicked this weekend. But yeah, that Dolphins game was not. I didn't even watch it. I just saw that my phone kept blowing up. They kept scoring and scoring and scoring.
In the first half.
Yeah, in the first half. They
didn't score in the second half. So their team over under total points was 30.5, and they scored 30 in the first half. You got to be thinking, well, this is sweet. And then they don't score in the second half.
Good news is the Broncos are not going to hit their season win total. If you guys were wondering, they have 8 losses. I think their season win total is like 9.5. So, just a little heads up because they're really good. I'm surprised Nathaniel Hackett did not get fired yesterday. I like the guy when he's in Green Bay. Clearly not the right guy for that job. Has no business being a head coach. People give Jeff Saturday shit. Nathaniel Hackett has no idea what's going on at all.
No clue.
So
he's terrible.
Anyways, yeah, feel bad for the guy.
He's better than his
this week's. What'd you say?
He's better than his quarterback, though. At least they're not paying him $50 million and have dead cap space of $30+ million for the next 4 years. So.
I look absolutely ridiculous throwing the ball left-handed, and I might be able to be a better quarterback left-handed than Russell Wilson. I probably can't even throw a football left-handed, to be honest with you. Like underhand, I'd be like rugby passing it. That guy
still be better.
Yeah, I wish the announcers on TV would just be like, dude, this guy sucks. Like, just say it. Like, I know they can't, but it's like they're trying to like in a roundabout way say like this guy's bad. It's like, dude, stop beating around the bush. He fucking stinks. Like they are fucked for the next 3 years.
I mean, it's crazy that you see. I mean, obviously they're on primetime TV a lot the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and then all of a sudden they got flexed out of Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs, the best team in football. Like that's how bad they are. They said we don't want to see the Chiefs play this shitty ass team on Sunday Night Football. We're gonna flex you out. You're that bad, Russ. So that's wild to see.
How many primetime teams do you think they have next year?
None.
I mean, they're still gonna get 3 or 4 because he's a big name, and it's. I don't know why they do, but
that D tackle got in his ass on Sunday.
Yes, he did.
It's amazing about when they were doing that.
Yeah. Well, they were teammates. Didn't Purcell come from Seattle?
I think so. Yeah.
I think he was part of that trade. I thought that name was the one.
Yeah. And then the coach is just standing there like ignoring it, like I don't know.
He didn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, he has no clue.
That's like me standing on the fucking sideline, and there's 2 guys screaming at each other. And it's like, I don't know. I shouldn't be here.
There's just some coach, and there's a lot of good coaches in the NFL. There's a lot of bad ones also. there's a lot of good coaches that are they just need to stick with what they're good at, and that's whether it be OC or DC or line coach or whatever. That they try to force these guys into head coaches, and these people just fail. I mean, it's failing miserably. I mean, like the Bears coach the last couple of years. I mean, he's a great quarterbacks coach. He was in Kansas City. He went to Chicago, won a Coach of the Year award. Then he got ran out of town, and he wasn't a good play caller. He wasn't a good head coach. And then obviously a lot of people picked the Chiefs to win 9 or 10 games this year. And now they're Mahomes is throwing over 300 yards a game, and they're doing everything again. I mean, there's just certain coaches that are not fit for the head coach.
Yeah. And people were jumping on the Josh McDaniel thing, like fire McDaniel, like at least his team's bought into things. They're fighting for Josh McDaniel. It's just they're missing skill players here and there, things like that, like bad luck. Like his guys want to win. They want to play for Josh. Hackett's guys could give a fuck less. They don't even want to be there. Like you could tell, like just watching the guys, like that team's gone.
Body language is big. It's a lot bigger than what a lot of people think. When you're talking about professionals, and these guys are all professionals on the field. And body language can be way more than talent. It's just it's very obvious.
Yeah, they all walk around looking like Kyler Murray. Like we know you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's the Raiders play. The guys they bust their ass for Josh. Like, and I know, like 3 weeks ago they're like, fire this son of a bitch, fire this guy. It's like, dude, you can tell. Like I said, you just got to watch a little bit and kind of see. They haven't given up like the Broncos. I don't know. I feel like bad dogging on them, but they stink. So this week's Survivor Pool, I got a good one. I'll go first. I like the Jaguars. Big win last week. The Ravens fucking blew it again. God damn, dude. Fire Mike McDaniel. I can't remember his last. The defensive coordinator. Fire the offensive coordinator too. That guy stinks. They were up by 14, I think, weren't they? Yes. Jags come back. Big win. I know the Lions are on a. I know they just lost, but it was the Bills. I think the Bills are the first team to win back-to-back games at Ford Field since 2005. So good for them. But the Jaguars are playing pretty well. They're probably most talent-wise, they might be one of the better teams in the it's either them or the Titans for the best team in the AFC South. They have a chance to be, I don't know. Trevor Lawrence looks good again. I like them to win.
That ball he threw on that 2-point conversion to win that game was impressive. Was
the other one one of Marvin Jones he threw was like, holy shit.
Yes. That was a big time throw of that 2-point conversion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Rich?
Yeah, so I am going Seahawks. They little letdown last week for them, so I see them bouncing it back. They're playing against the Rams, if I'm correct.
I think us three are playing, right? We're suiting up for the Rams this weekend because everybody else quit.
Now even freaking Aaron Donald, I think, is ruled out for this weekend already.
Yeah. He's never missed a game from an injury in his life until this weekend.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, they're packing it for the season.
I didn't know that like butt hurt was an injury in the NFL, but I think that's what it is. So.
Well, hell, I'll tell you one thing, man. Heck, I'm surprised the coach is going to be there after the shot he took to the chops and stuff like that.
That was a big hit.
That was on purpose. This guy's
probably need to be out on the injured reserve right now.
Him and Stafford are probably both in concussion protocol. They should be.
Oh my goodness! They slowed that in slow motion. It's like, whoa, it's crazy.
Well, when I heard him talk about it before I saw it, and I thought like somebody came off of the field and hit him. No, just some dude running onto the field runs right into him.
Yes. Yeah. I think, there was a lot of that going because I can't remember. I don't know if it was the same team or another game where same thing. Aside, one of the coaches on the sideline got knocked out because of the player running off onto the field, and he did the same thing. Can't remember who it was though.
Yeah, you just hit that guy. Anyways, hey, this was gonna be my pick, but go ahead.
I'm picking the Browns. So when I was going through this, I'm like, oh, I like this team. I went up and looked. I'm like, oh, I already picked them. Can't do that. So I went through the gauntlet again, did it again. So about 4 or 5 teams that I really wanted to pick. So the Browns were about my 6th pick this week that I actually went with. And it's a factor of, we talked about body language a little bit ago. I think the Browns, they're playing pretty good football, and I bagged on them for the
Bucks last week.
I bagged on them for a lot of weeks, just saying they're the Browns. We got to keep betting against them. They're the Browns. They're just not a good organization. But all of a sudden you see that they have a little bit of swagger. They got some confidence going in and giving Tom Brady, I think, his first loss ever, which is crazy to say when Brady's been up 7 with like less than 3 minutes to go in a game. So they have a little swagger. Obviously, they're getting a quarterback back this week, going back to his former team. I think there's just a lot of hype there. And I will give you kind of a pre-glimpse of the bets, but I don't think they win big. But I think that they do go down and beat Houston. I think that the three of us could go down and get 8 more guys and beat the Texans right now. But they're bad. Just not a good team on paper. But I have the Browns. I don't know. They're, like I said, they're about my 5th or 6th pick, but I feel pretty confident in that week.
I think there's high school teams in Texas that run a better offense than Texas.
And better personnel.
Probably. Moving on. Real quick, we'll go over a little bit last week. My computer's really flying by me here. I can't read fast enough. We had quite a few player props. Do you guys want to go over all of them, or you just want to? We're already kind of 15 minutes in. I feel like we may go way too long.
I'm good with not going through a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we were pretty well 50-50 on some of them. There's nothing that like I looked at when I was like, I don't know. Rich had a hell of a week last week. Like I said, his Raiders won. It was Thanksgiving. Good weekend. He was 11-5 last week. Abe and I are both 9-7. So really not a bad week. I'll take 9-7 every damn week, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 11-5 and everything. The bad thing about it is the 5 that I lost, 4 of them were my circa bets. So
that's not
a good performance there. So, but hey, I'll take 11-5.
11-5 is awesome.
So Abe and I are both, Rich and I are both 85, 90, and 5. Abe is 84, 91, and 5. So we're all right there at the same place. You'd think we just do this together every week. 2 teams on bye this week: the Cardinals and the Panthers. So I mean, unfortunately, if you're like me and having to start Kyler Murray, maybe it's a blessing. I picked up Mike White. That son of a bitch I might get my 3rd win of the season in Bar Pigs, Abe, with Mike White under center. Him and Sam Darnold. A couple former Jets.
There you go.
That's how bad my team is.
Nate's gonna be on the couch saying Jets.
I will be. I'll be cheering. I'm the only one that picked him.
Yeah.
Anyways, Thursday night football should be a good game. Bills at the Patriots. I know Josh Allen has destroyed the Bills lately when he goes there. I think last time he's there threw for over 303 touchdowns or something like that. I guess the last time the Bills and Patriots played that I remember though was that in Buffalo when the real windy and Mac Jones threw the ball 4 times or something like that.
Yeah.
Like on a Monday night or Sunday night football.
Last time in New England. Yep.
Yeah. That was a hell of a game. Good stuff.
Real fun to watch.
Yeah. I don't know. I was pretty nervous about picking the Bills because of just how good Bill Belichick is, but I don't know. He can take out your best player, but they have so many good players that I don't know what they'll do. I know Von Miller's out, so that's pretty big for the defense. But I don't know if the Pats have enough to do it. I don't think their defense is quite fast enough to keep up with the Bills. So I like the Bills laying the points on the road. I also like Isaiah McKenzie over 32.5 because of what I just said, taking your best guy out. So whether he takes out Diggs or Gabe Davis, McKenzie had a huge week last week against the Lions, and I see that continuing. I also like James Cook, over 15.5 rushing yards. And then Ed Oliver and Matt Judon both to record over 0.75 sacks. So just they need a sack each. What did I say? Ed Oliver's plus 160 and Judon plus 105. So a little more than even money. But I feel like those guys are both primed to get a sack. So, Rich?
Yeah, I like the Bills too. And I was kind of shady on this one because, freaking Mac Jones, after me having a discussion last week, I'm not doing too well, man. Went and lit it up last week down with Minnesota. I guess it was against Minnesota, correct?
Yeah.
I think it was. But I guess Panthers defense not Panthers. Vikings defenses ain't the best and everything. So maybe that's why he looks so good. I mean, he had over 300 yards passing and everything, kind of through my player prop bet that I had for that one game right there with that one. But Mac Jones looked good last week and
Yeah,
everything.
what those guys combined for like almost 700 yards. I did
Yeah.
that math earlier and I looked and I was like, holy shit, dude. I didn't realize
Yeah.
they threw
I
think
didn't
it was
think it. I
681
thought
or
it was going to be a
something.
little. I thought, first of all, I thought pass defense was going to step up and shut down the Vikings. They really didn't do that and stuff like that. So Cook looked good. Dalvin Cook looked good in that game. And
Ramondre had 90 yards like receiving or something, maybe. I think his over you said was like he was gonna be like his over of like 30. It was like 80 yards.
so because of the way they played, that kind of I almost went Pats and everything, but it's another week in the season and stuff like that. And I'm taking the Bills -4. They should win by a touchdown, so at least by a touchdown, I believe. So I do have player prop Ramondre Stevenson combined passing and rushing. I mean, not passing, receiving and rushing of 102.5. You just hit it on the nail a minute ago, Nate. I mean, Ramondre had 90 yards receiving. I mean, he could pretty easily go 50-50 and get right there at that 100 and just have another big run or receiving yard. Damian Harrison is going to be out again. He's already injured and everything, so just gives that whole backfield to Ramondre. I think this is going to be one of the first times in a long time that the Patriots don't really go freaking running back by committee. It's almost like they got a bell cow now with Harris not being there.
Who's their third?
They got two rookies.
Pierre Strong. Is Pierre Strong one of them? That North Dakota? I think he's from North Dakota.
Pierre Strong. And there's another one too, but they really haven't done. I think they between the two of them, they maybe 12 touches this whole season so far. Yeah. So.
All right,
Nate.
I'm going to be the oddball, and I'm going to go with the Patriots +4 at home. This is kind of hard for me to pick because I enjoy watching the Bills and they're dominant and all that stuff. But I went against the Patriots last week, but I was on a short week against a team that was just got destroyed before, and it's the NFL. So I'm taking the Patriots +4 at home. I mean, the Bills have really, really struggled in their division this year. Like, really, I don't think they've won a game in the division.
They're 0-2 in the division.
Yeah. And not to say that holds up and stays the same and stays the course for the rest of the year. That doesn't happen because this Bills team is too good. But I just think they're getting a little. They have a little pressure on them right now. Like, hey, we have the Jets, we have the Dolphins that are right there with us, and the Pats aren't far behind. So I think with Bill Belichick, great coach, playing at home, getting 4 points. If this was under 3, I definitely would probably have switched this pick. But I think this game is going to be close. It should be a fun Thursday night game. I do have some player props in it. I agree with Nate on the Isaiah McKenzie. For the same exact reasons, I think they take out one of the wide receivers. Last week, I thought that their tight end would be the guy that went off. I can't think of his name right now. For Buffalo, what's his name?
Knox.
Dawson Knox.
Yeah, I thought Knox would go off, and it ended up being McKenzie. McKenzie was the guy. It seems like they get confidence in one guy, and then they kind of roll with them for a little bit. So I like his over receiving yards. I love Ramondre's over receiving yards. It's anywhere between 35 and 38.5, depending on what sites you look at right now. That guy's awesome. I mean, he is really good, and Belichick's finding a way to get him the ball. I'm assuming that the Bills will be leading in this game, which means that there'll be some dump offs to Ramondre. I think his over under catches is only 3.5, I think, and I really like that as well. And then I like Josh Allen over rushing yards. Like I said, I think Josh Allen realizes, like, hey, we have to win this game. So that means that he's going to put the team on his shoulders, whether it be throwing the ball, running the ball. You're going to see him run for a couple key first downs to keep drives alive. So I like his over rushing of 42.5. But ultimately, I think the Bills win this game, but the Patriots cover 4.
Nice.
Yep. Where am I going here? Sorry, Broncos, Ravens. It's 8. It was 8.5 when I put this on earlier. It's 8 now. And I don't know. Lamar Jackson left practice, which makes me nervous. I made a trade for him last weekend in a dynasty league, so that would be just great. If he was out, but let's hope not. The Ravens, another, they've lost. I think I said it was that last week or 2 weeks ago. I said they're like 3 or 4 losses were like by combined 11 points, and now it's like 13 points.
But they have all these leads. They have big 1 to 2 score leads in 4 or 5 games now this year, and they keep blowing them late. Why? You know what? Why can't you put a team away? Well, they don't have a great running game. You know, they don't have.
Can he be under center ever? Like, why is he in shotgun fucking 90% of the goddamn time? Like, put the guy under center.
I think he's banged up. Like, I just think he's banged up. That's why.
I know.
And I think they really need like a guy like Gus Edwards. I think that, you know, I think he's a little bit healthier this week. You know, I think that helps the Ravens. Well, I'll tell my pick because I'm the oddball here. I'm picking the Broncos plus 8. I can't believe I'm fucking doing this, but I am. I'm picking the Broncos.
Please finish out the way you worded it on there because I just want to hear you say it.
I will in just a second.
Don't say that jabroni ass shit. I can't stand.
I just keep seeing the Ravens lose games late, and I don't think they lose this game. You know, they're playing at home, but I would not doubt if the Broncos, if Russ finds a way to throw a last minute touchdown or something like that to make himself look good to get his like 8th touchdown on the season or something. Woo! So I have the Broncos plus 8. Let's ride.
Let's ride. Yeah. Man, I almost went Broncos too because man, you just don't know what to take of the Ravens and everything the way they've been playing. You have leads. Kind of same thing with the Raiders. You have some leads and you just blow them like that and everything. But man, it's the Broncos.
0-2 against the spread coming off the bye. They were 13.5 point favorites against the Panthers. That what they scored. They didn't even score 13 points in the game. Both teams, and then don't cover last weekend. Get beat anyways. I don't know. I'm nervous, but
yeah, same here. But I'm going Ravens because it's the Broncos. So
yeah, me too. I can't pick the Broncos. They're just they fucking suck.
You guys are both nervous on the Ravens minus 8, and I'm going to tell you, I'm really nervous on the Broncos plus 8. So none of us feel confident in these picks because these teams, one team loses a lead late, the other team sucks. So what do you do?
The other team can't score. So
yeah,
I don't know. By the way, this week there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of games where I am on the other side of things by myself more than normal.
Yes, you are. I noticed that too.
Yeah, I do too.
So it'd be good for one of us, or for you two, or for me. I mean, whatever. Probably you guys, but I have my reasons. Kind of. First one: Titans traveling to the Eagles. Eagles squeaked out, barely covered last week. Depending on where you got them at, I guess some people didn't cover. But Eagles are laying 5.5 at home. Titans coming to town off a tough loss to the Bengals. I just like the Eagles. That team's good. We watched them last week just run the goddamn shit. It's laughable. The Packers' defense is fucking terrible. Fire Joe Barry. What game plan? You know what? We don't need to talk about it yet. Anyways, they ran for 360 fucking yards last week or something like that. I don't see them doing that again, but they can. Obviously, they can do whatever they want. I mean, they can score fast. They can also just keep the ball forever. I just don't think the Titans keep up. I don't think that, Derrick Henry, I don't know. I didn't look at he only had like 40 yards last week. He didn't have a ton of,
not money.
He didn't have a lot of yards against the Packers. People have been kind of keeping him in check. Yeah, he still runs the ball 40 times, but people are keeping him in check a little bit. I know Traylon Burks is back and things are looking up, but I like the Eagles. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and go. I'm going Titans. I don't know. To me, it's just Titans been playing some real close games and everything, even though they haven't been looking the best. Traylon Burks, man, he's been looking real good as a rookie receiver coming back from his injury and everything. And it's funny, as I traded Burks away in a league right before he came back after that first game, thinking, I'm going to trade him away based off what he did. And I mean, he's been putting on a solid performance the last 2-3 weeks and everything. So, like I said, Titans defense, they've been stellar this season, and it just seems like this is kind of Titan weather. Titans during the end of the season and stuff like that, they tend to win games that a lot of people don't expect them to win. And even though Henry hasn't been looking good, I think they keep it within the minus plus 5.5. So that's the reason why I like it. I don't know if they win it, but I think it comes down to a field goal. It's going to be a low scoring game, I believe. I don't see it being a high scoring game, even though the Eagles have looked good and stuff like that. The Eagles are getting back their rookie defensive tackle, Davis.
Jordan Davis.
So hopefully
what, they need more help with D tackle.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm taking Titans. Abe.
I'm taking the Titans also. So Vrabel, whenever he's been a 3-point dog or more, he's 21-7 against the spread, and his average wins are by like 8 points against the spread. So that says that he usually wins a lot of these games when they're dogs by more than 3 points. So I like the Titans. I just think this team is. I think they shut down Derrick Henry in the running game, but we saw Derrick Henry can obviously catch it and go also, and I think that's kind of what the Titans focus on. So I didn't put this down, but Derrick Henry's receiving yards usually sits around like 7 to 12 every week, and I really like that this week because we saw that Green Bay was able to get the ball out in the flat to AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, and I think that the Titans take advantage of that and say, okay, here's Henry out in the open now. He's not facing these great D tackles. Try stopping him with your corners and safeties. And they're down a couple of guys in their backfield, their defensive backfield. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I like the Titans. I think AJ Brown finally has a better game. He's been a little bit quiet the last few games. But I'm looking forward to this game a lot. I think that this is going to be closer than 5.5 point spread. Once again, I talk about this weekly. I try not looking at the spreads first. I think what they would be on my own. And I thought the spread would be 3 just because the Eagles were at home. So that's one reason why when I saw it was 5.5, I'm like, I got to take the Titans because that's, almost getting a touchdown for a team that's, pretty darn good. Like Rich said, in this weather, this is where they kind of strive. So I just think the Titans cover 5.5, and I would not be shocked if the Titans win this game.
You know what's funny about it is with the Titans and Henry, every time you see a screen and it goes to Henry, it's like you don't see him as a screen kind of running back. No. But dude, every time they do a screen to him, it pops for like 20 plus. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how the offensive line get out there and they get those seams and those blocks for him, and all of a sudden once he gets running, it's like, yeah, good luck stopping him. I mean, he had one last week that. And it kind of developed late, and they got the pass to him, and he had to pause for a minute to wait for his offensive line to set up his blocks, and man, he just hit, and man, he just ran it down that field, man. It's amazing how he's in those screens.
Yeah, he's really good. They just don't give him the ball. I mean, he's so great downhill, and I don't think he can get downhill on this front from Philadelphia, and I think that Tennessee knows that. So I think that they try to get him the ball out in the open field a little bit. Did you guys see last week, by the way, there's a bet that I think DraftKings does every week where there's a passing touchdown in every like noon game or 1 o'clock Eastern game. And it was like 100-1 last week, and it would have hit if Henry wouldn't have fumbled at the 1 last week. Some guy had like $50 on it to win 50,000 or something like that. And Derrick Henry of all people was the one to fumble at the 1 after a 70-yard catch. It was the only one that didn't hit. So pretty wild to see, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. It should be a fun watch.
It'd be a good one.
And gentlemen, that is why we have Abe on this show. Beautiful.
He remembers. Browns, Texans. Gonna be some nasty things said at this game, I bet. I'm not gonna say a whole lot. I'm just taking the Browns because I said earlier how bad the Texans are. They, like I said, they've gone from like they weren't good, they got worse to work. Like they're I don't know how much worse they can get. Is Kyle Allen starting a quarterback again? I mean, it really doesn't matter.
I'll put it this way: I'm pretty sure he is, and I would switch to the Texans if I knew Mills was playing in this game as a starter and stuff like that. But because I think the other quarterback it's the reason why I'm going with the Browns.
Yeah, I like Abe's prop that he's going to tell you to here in a minute. But yeah, give me the Browns. Give me Nick Chubb and the Browns.
So I picked the Browns in my survivor pool, but I'm picking the Texans +7 at home. As much as like this is exciting in the NFL, ironically chose this is Watson's comeback game as it is former team at his former stadium. There is no reason behind that, of course, according to the NFL and the commissioner. But ironically, I think the Texans are going to be up for this game also. I mean, it's a team that, this could be their Super Bowl if they go and knock Deshaun Watson out of his first game back. I don't see the Texans winning this game, but I do see it being closer than a touchdown at home. And it could not. I mean, the Texans struggle to score. They're not good. They're terrible. I said all that earlier, but with that being said, they get a little momentum on their side. You never know what's going to happen. I do have some player props in this, and it is Nick Chubb over. I don't care what his rushing yards is. I don't care if it's set at 175. Bet it. The Texans are absolutely the worst team against the run, and they give up yards and yards and yards and yards. The Browns, with that being said, the Browns are top 3 in yards given up also against the run. So there should be a lot of running. This should be a running clock. I don't think there's going to be a ton of passes. So I have Chubb over whatever his rushing yards are. Those aren't out yet. I put 125 on here, and I feel confident with that. I also just said
that's a good alternate yard bet to make.
Yeah,
where it'd be plus 400 or something for that.
I also just said that I don't think there's going to be a lot of passes and stuff like that. It's going to be a running clock. But at the same time, I think that Nico Collins has a pretty good game. This guy's he's had 26 targets the last 3 games. And he's caught, I think, 5 or 6 passes in the last 3 games. I don't know what his receptions are yet. This is a Michigan kid playing up against an Ohio school or an Ohio football team. So I like Nico Collins over his receptions or receiving yards. He only hovers around 45 to 50 receiving yards, but he's averaging about 6 catches a game on about 8 targets a game. So I like his numbers for him to get over also.
Yeah, I also do have player prop on here. Like I said, they haven't really released anything for this game, but I like Watson over whatever his rushing yards is, because you got to think it's his first game of the season. They're going to have it low.
2 years.
They're going to have it low and stuff like that. I think he's going to be rusty, and I think he's going to have to do some work up with his feet and everything and stuff like that. So whatever the rushing yard is, I think he goes over. So I went with that. With that strategy.
That was appropriate. Packers traveling to Soldier Field, Justin's Field. Bears getting 4.5 points at home. Rich, you got confidence in him? Let's hear it.
Man,
are you just saying this for our sake?
No, the Bears, man. We don't know.
Yeah, they fucking stink. We know, but so do the Packers.
No, look, I get it and stuff like that. I mean, if Fields is playing, I'd be more worried about this. We just don't know yet. I'm thinking he is going to play, but you just don't know and stuff like that. And if Fields is not playing, I just don't see Packers and Rodgers. They've owned the Bears and everything. I was watching the McAfee when he was on there this week and stuff like that. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm back." He goes, "I'm going against he not so much words is I'm going back against the team that I own and stuff like that." I think he takes it. The Bears. He always wins against the Bears, right? You guys should know that.
Yeah, well, that team, those teams are, mountains above this team.
Yeah, but they don't got Mooney. I mean, Claypool was still trying to learn. I mean, they got no defense. What else are they going to do?
Jackson went on the IR. I'll go. I have the Bears only if Fields plays plus 4.5, and I don't know if he's going to play or not. I have a hunch that's the reason Fields set out last week was to play this game, and then he may shut her down after this for the year. Fields has openly said multiple times he came to Chicago to win games, win a division, and beat the Green Bay Packers. This is his best shot he's had against a team that gave up 4,000 yards against a running quarterback last week. I guarantee you Justin Fields is sitting there watching that game on Sunday night just salivating like, I hope I can play this week and break all those records that Jalen Hurts just broke this week rushing the ball. If Fields plays, I think the Bears probably win this game. If he doesn't play, I would take the Packers. Exactly what Rich said. The Packers just own this team. The Bears, they don't have anyone. Their team is not good. At least Green Bay has some guys that are notable and are good football players that I think that they could cover that. But I think if Justin Fields, I think this is one game where if Justin Fields plays, the Bears cover 4.5 at home and even probably win this game because Green Bay they've never been able to stop a running quarterback ever. It's something that they're really, really bad at. And obviously we saw it last Sunday night against Jalen Hurts. For a guy, Jalen Hurts was not running the ball a ton the last couple of games going into that. And all he had to do was get outside, and no one could get near him. He doesn't get touched for 25 yards. With that being said, if Fields does play, bet his longest individual rush. It's usually around 17 or 18. He'll easily get that if he plays. I know he's going to be probably a little bit cautious with his shoulder, but he's so fast that he can run out of bounds and run away from our defenders. So
it's always late on Wednesdays, Joe, and you're on that right coast time, so it's super late for you, dude. Nice. Hey, happy you're joining us. I like the Bears. I can't say regardless of who is the quarterback, because if like Trevor Siemian or Nate Peterman's in there, like if we fucking lose to them, I mean, dude, Joe Barry is that clueless motherfucker. Like, I don't know if he knew Jalen Hurts could run the football last week. I just don't. I don't think he knew that going into the game. No idea they could do that. Like, I don't know how is he. But we don't fire guys mid-season. Apparently, I tried to get. I can't remember who I don't even know now. Our special teams coordinator last year, for the last 2 years, I was trying to get him fired, because he was a dipshit. I think I've realized it now. It's just the whole coaching staff. It doesn't matter which one you are. Your game plan, you don't have a game plan. You can't change the game plan that you came in with. It was shitty. We don't play defense. We draft defensive guys, and then we don't play.
That's what's sad about it. Is everyone texts me and is like, hey, well, we need to work on our defense in the offseason. I'm like, all we do is draft defense. If and when we ever go get free agents, which is very, very rare, it's all defense. Like, it's not – we never go and get offensive guys. If we draft offensive guys at second, third, fifth round, so everyone's like, well, you need to work on your defense. Well, there's not an NFL team that puts more first and second rounders on the field than the Packers defense, and they just continually just get lit up because they don't tackle. I mean, it is
Jesus
the
fucking Christ,
dude. Tackles that they try doing is absolutely like, I'm a big Adrian Amos fan. He's looked awful this year. I never root for injuries, but I was glad to see Darnell Savage get hurt the third play of the game. He's terrible. We have a couple
guys are softer than fucking baby shit.
Yeah, it's terrible. You're missing, like, I get it. We're missing Devondre Campbell and Rashawn Gary and stuff like that. But ultimately, you come as a defender, you come in the NFL, you should be able to fucking tackle. And they don't. They never have. And it's something that I don't know. Maybe they just don't care about it up in Green Bay, but it's atrocious to watch it. It's
fucking Miles Sanders, that long run. Kenny Clark, like, fucking, it's like he's like, just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, you weigh fucking 350 pounds, tackle the motherfucker. I don't know what you're doing. Like, I can't, like, and even Quay Walker missed a bunch of tackles, and he's been better. Like, he looked like shit. I mean, every single guy on the team, though, it's not just one guy. It's the entire defense can't tackle.
Yeah, it's bad.
Hell, the only good thing we had going was Jordan Love threw some good passes. He needs to not play anymore so we can trade him, because those 9 passes he threw, less is more. So those looked really good. That somebody will take that. I don't want him to play the rest of the year and then fuck up that so we can't trade him. We're locked into Aaron. That's all I gotta say. He's not leaving. We're locked in. That's fine with me. I want Aaron out there. He's my quarterback. I've said that since day one. Abe, you know that. Rich, you know that. That's who I want out there. I know last week he was hurt bad. When I watched him throw the ball, it was like, it hurt me watching it. And Jordan came in confident, composed, threw the ball well, looked good, but we don't need more, because then he'll screw up and we won't get a good pick for him when we trade him.
Yeah. So one thing about this, Nate, I mean, obviously you and I talk quite a bit about this. Like, people are like, hey, you know what? Let's see what we have in Jordan Love. This coaching staff in the front office.
You and I both, Joe.
They know what they have in Jordan Love. They know all these other NFL coaches know what Jordan Love is about. Now, he looked as good as I've ever seen him this past week. He looked confident. His footwork was good. He had a lot of zip on the ball. He looked really good. Now, can he sustain that and be better? Yeah, I think he can. But at the same time, like, people are like, well, we need to see what we have in Jordan Love, and let's get a draft pick. Listen, these people are there. I mean, this is a team that's won, 26 games in the regular season the last 2 years. They do not want to lose. Aaron Rodgers is too competitive. You can say whatever you want about Aaron Rodgers, that he's weird and everything else. That dude fucking competes, and he doesn't care about anything else besides winning. and he does things to his teammates and players, and people are like, oh, this is what he does. He does this on stuff. No, he finds a way to get the most out of his players. And some people don't like it, but it's professionals. It's what sports happens. I mean, there's times where some people are intrinsically motivated. Some people are motivated by, extrinsically. However you do it, the dude is a mastermind with it. He wants to fucking win. So if people say like, oh, they're just trying to salvage their season, they don't really care. Let's see what Jordan Love has. They know what Jordan Love has. And will he play the last couple of games of the year? Yes, because Rodgers is banged up. It's going to happen. We all know it. But if you're trying to win, and if you're an athlete and you play at the highest level, you're going to try to win. And your best way of winning is having Aaron Rodgers on the field instead of Jordan Love. That's all there is to it.
Joe, I'm with you. That's why it's not going to happen. I mean, I don't know. We don't need to keep going. Like I said, it's pretty obvious, but I don't know. I just have no confidence.
And I like Jordan Love. He's
too.
improved a ton this year. I mean, so his footwork looked really good the other day. I mean, that was impressive, and I think that's huge for a quarterback.
Yes. So, anyways, moving on.
You might want to go check your blood pressure real quick, sir.
I'm like getting sweaty. So pissed off. That goddamn Joe Barry, dude. That son of a bitch. It's not even the fuck. Those guys need to fucking eat a spoonful of fucking Sackcrete and toughen up a little bit because they're soft as fuck.
Yes,
anyways, I am too, Joe, but we need to wait till he gets traded after those 9 passes he threw because I don't want to ruin it. Less is more. Jets traveling to Vikings. I just give me the Jets. Mike White, dude. JETS, Jets. Let's go, buddy. Give me 3 points on the road. Fuck the Vikings. Abe.
Vikings -3. I just think that the Vikings they got a lot of weapons, so I'm taking the Vikings.
Yeah, look, I like Magic. In Nate's turns, Magic, Mike Lightning, and stuff like that. I like them a lot too. But this is going to be a trend, kind of the same thing that happened last year. Look, first game that Mike came in last year, lit it up and everything, and then it started trailing off and everything. They're playing against the Vikings. Defense is horrible. Look, he's going to have a good game and everything, but too much offense on the Viking side. Unless Kirk Cousins goes out and lays an egg and everything, I think they control the game with Dalvin Cook. Jefferson's going to get his. It's close. It's -3 and stuff like that. That's the reason why I'm going Vikings. I like the Jets to make this a real competitive game, but I think Vikings at home, they're going to pull it off by their spread.
Hey, a player prop I like. I don't know who's starting at running back for the Jets, but that quarterback, Mike White, he's kept in check down. He didn't have to last week, but he will drop the ball off to running backs like crazy. So whoever's in the backfield, look at their receiving yards and receptions because he will drop the ball off a lot, especially if it's in a closer game.
I just picked him up, and Zonovan Knight, DFA kid.
Yeah.
See, I like Ty Johnson better, man. I know a lot of people are talking about the gentleman you just mentioned and stuff like that, but Ty Johnson's been there for the last 2-3 years and stuff like that. I think he's obviously gonna have the first opportunity and everything and stuff. And if they do have a good game, he's gonna be part of it.
Well, is James Robinson going to be another healthy scratch? I mean, he's probably going to play too. So,
dude, Bob Sala said he did that to get the team juiced up.
Yeah,
hell yeah, Bob.
I mean, whoever it is, I don't know who it's going to be. They have 3 guys that I think it's going to be a mixture, but I like count on him on to check the ball down a lot.
Yeah. Jaguars traveling to Detroit. Like I said earlier, I think the Jags to win this one. Obviously, they're favored by a point on the road. I think the Jags are better than we have given them credit for. They played pretty poorly, but it just feels like Trevor Lawrence maybe turned a corner. I don't know. I know the Lions firepower, but give me the Jags. Abe?
I'll take the Lions +1. Playing at home, getting a point. I like the Lions.
Yeah, same here. No reason for insanity here and stuff like that. Lions at the house +1. They've been looking good and everything and stuff, and I know the Jags have been looking good too. But Lions at home, I'm taking them.
Commandos traveling up to New York to play the Giants. Joe's Giants. Giants getting 2.5 at home, which it's weird to me. I don't even know why I picked the Commandos. I'm sorry, Joe. I shouldn't have done that. But Taylor Heineke, dude, the Battle Hawk, Old Dominion. He's been looking good, not so much last weekend, but they are running the shit out of the football. Brian Robinson looks awesome. Their defense, I think Chase Young's going to be back maybe this time. I don't know. This game seems like it'll probably be low scoring to me. I don't know. I like the Commandos giving up 2.5 on the road. Abe?
I'm picking the Giants just because they're getting 2.5 at home. This game is a toss-up for me. I just don't know which way to go. But the Giants are, both these teams have overachieved this year, and both teams. I think the Commandos are playing better recently, but it's just hard to pick against the Giants. I think they have 7 wins, and they're getting 2.5 points at home. So I have the Giants plus 2.5.
Yeah, I don't need to say anything else. Abe pretty much nailed it. This could go either way. This game is good. Giants at home. There was something I was wanting to look into, but I fell asleep on the couch before getting prepped for this. I wanted to kind of go back and check what the odds are as far as teams covering the spread when they're plus and everything. And I want to see it's a lot. The percentage on that is a lot higher this year than what you would normally see and everything. So that's something I'm going to look into.
You mean like home dogs?
Yes.
I'll look it up right now. Go to the next game. Talk about the next one, Rich.
So next game we got Steelers at the Falcons. Falcons are favored by 1. I'll go ahead and start out. I'm going Falcons. I won't reveal your guys' picks yet, but I'm Falcons. First, I do got a player prop. I've used this prop before. First drive of the game, going to be a field goal made from it, stuff like that, based off of these two teams. I know they lost freaking Pitts and everything, but man, I just like the Falcons. Steelers, they played the Colts this past week. That was one of the games we did a live review on, what in game talking about and everything, and did not look impressive at all. I don't know what to say about the Colts. I think they're 1-2 with us. Jeff Saturday as the coach now. He had that 1 win against the Raiders, but horrible game management last week. At the end of the game and everything. I don't know why he didn't use any timeouts. I think it's going to rub off and everything. I just like the Falcons at home -1.
I'm going with the Steelers +1 on the road. I just think they're playing better football. They have a little bit more confidence. I think Georgie Pickens has a good game against this Falcons, defensive backfield. And I think Kenny Pickett Nate's going to completely disagree, but I think Kenny Pickett's a pretty good quarterback. I think he's got a great coach, and I think both these teams have pretty good coaches. But if we're going to go to it and it's going to be a 1-point game, I'm going to go with the Steelers coach because I'm a big fan of Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, the Giants are 2-0 against the spread at home this year. I can't count it up in my head.
So real quick and stuff like that, back on this game and stuff like that. Look, I don't know if Harris is going to play. I know Warren's injured. Their running game is going to be inept. Benny Snell might be the running back for this game and everything.
Tony McFarland.
Yep, there's another one right there. I don't know what to expect from the Steelers. It's funny because as I was talking more about the Colts going in as we're talking about this game from last week. But yeah, Pickett has looked decent and everything. Pickens is looking good. He had some solid catches last week. Deontay just doesn't seem like he's getting involved enough. If they get him involved, it might be a different game. I'm back on the Falcons bandwagon for this week. So go ahead.
I'm on the Steelers TJ Watt bandwagon. That's the only reason. So, and Mike Tomlin. I mean, I don't know. They looked good last week against the defense is good. Yeah, give me the Steelers. Dolphins at Niners. This is like everybody's favorite game of the week, which I get. I understand. I am by myself. I like the Niners at home. I don't think the Dolphins have played a defense like the 49ers. The 49ers defense is phenomenal. It has only gotten healthier and better throughout the season. No, they can't keep up with them. But what's the thing the 49ers do best? Run the football. Keep the ball away from dipshit lefty and the good receivers. And I don't know. I think it's too good to be true. That's kind of where I'm at, more so than anything. I know that the Dolphins have been phenomenal. They scored 30 points the last 5 or 6 games, maybe over 30. But I don't know. I like Shanahan is going to have that. What the hell's that window licker's name? I don't like their coach. I don't like that guy, McDaniel. Going to have his number. Like Shanahan taught him everything he knows. So give me the 49ers at home. I know you guys don't agree one bit, but that's okay.
Yeah. So I've obviously said the 49ers team is, in my opinion, probably top 2 scariest teams in football right now. But I think that 4 points is a lot for a Dolphins team that can at any point in time can have one of their wide receivers bust one for 70. I don't care what defense you play against. These two wide receivers for Miami are explosive. There's going to be some bad blood here because there's been some running backs and some players moved from San Francisco to Miami. So this game should be pretty fun to watch. I just think the Dolphins getting 4 points right now, anywhere they play, is too many points. So I like the Dolphins +4. One thing to look at, I like George Kittle to have a big game. The Dolphins are not good against the tight end. So I like George Kittle in this game. He does kind of all the little stuff and what has made them successful. And the Niners have a lot of weapons. Obviously, they have a little bit of injuries right now on the offense, but look for George Kittle to go off and have a big game against the Dolphins.
And Joe taking the Dolphins with the points too, as obviously Abe is. And
hey, Nick Bosa sack, by the way, too. Give me that.
Gotcha. Man, I don't care if freaking the 49ers get up by 12, 14 points. Dolphins can cover that on 2 plays easily and stuff like that. Dolphins defense has been above normal and stuff like that. They've been playing real decent.
Yeah, opportunistic. Yeah.
Yes, and everything. Yeah. And it's like every time I turn on the game and stuff, that linebacker that they have is always having a pick. It's like he's like always at the right place at the right time and everything. Can't think of his name right now. Blonde, flowing dreadlock, locks and everything. Just he's always right there and everything. Can't think of his name for the Dolphins. I have a player prop on it. It's actually the weekly special because if it ain't the Thursday game, you ain't gonna find no player props right now. It seems like so. I am taking the weekly special on that. It's a tough one if you really want to sit there and think about it. Debo 60+ receiving yards as possible. Hill 100+ receiving yards. Can easily do that stuff, but it's against the 49ers defense. It's going to be tough, but I am taking it. It's at +300.
Is Tron Armstead playing?
I don't know.
Anything
I've not seen either.
Yeah, Nick Bosa is going to eat.
But 2 is undefeated, so I'm taking him.
He's also left-handed.
Yeah, it's scary. Look, don't get me wrong. It's scary against 49ers defense. Their defense is legit and stuff like that. Elijah Mitchell, he's out again. McCaffrey hasn't been stellar and stuff like that. Had a solid.
Debo's going to play running back.
I really see them moving him back, getting him more involved in that game with Mitchell being out. So,
it doesn't matter.
Both these teams still, are in a huge playoff push in their division. So both these teams are going to do whatever it takes to get their ball in their studs' hands. So
I think 49ers pretty much have it locked up in their division. Miami is it a more tougher division with Allen and everybody and stuff like that. But yeah, they're still in the thick of it. And maybe to me, the game of the week, right? Is that what you were saying earlier?
I think there's a couple games down that I like a little bit more, but yes.
Yeah, the one we're about to talk about next, not the next one, the one after that. Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Anyways, moving on. Seahawks, Rams. I have nothing to say. The Rams we talked about earlier. They packed it up. Give me the Seahawks on the road.
Seahawks.
Anybody else got anything to say? We're all on the same thing.
Yep.
Chiefs traveling to Cincinnati. Again, by myself. Give me the Bengals getting points at home. I know the Chiefs look good. Mahomes is the MVP. Without a doubt. But Burrow and the boys are heating up. Jamar Chase is back. I don't know if Joe Mixon's back or not. Doesn't matter. I just think the Bengals are looking good. Obviously, so do the Chiefs. But I like the Bengals at home.
This is the game I'm looking forward to the most. Obviously, the Dolphins-Niners game is going to be a lot of fun. But I think if we want to see some offensive firepower and some fantasy points, this is the game to look at. Chiefs and Bengals. I think this game gets opened up, and there's a lot of up and down on the field. So I have the Chiefs -1.5. That was hard for me to pick against Joe Cool, but I like the Chiefs -1.5. I'm just looking forward to this game. I don't have a lot more to say on it.
Yeah, I'm taking Chiefs -1.5 too. Look, Bengals knocked them out last year in the playoffs. Chiefs, like I said, there ain't no player prop out for this game yet, but I like Mahomes over. I think they're just going to light it up through the air. I think Bengals are going to light it up there, just like what you said with Chase being back. I think I read earlier when I was looking through stuff. I can't remember where I read it, but Jamar Chase chose to sit out last week. He could have played, but he made the decision to sit out so he was ready for this game. They had it circled on the calendar and everything. Both teams, I guarantee you, did. They're going to be coming out to fight. Going to be high scoring. I think the defense ain't going to be able to hold her either side. Going to be a great game. But yeah, I think Chiefs want to take back that win from the loss that they had last season.
Chiefs 4-6-1 against spread this year. 2-2 as a road favorite. Bengals are 8-3 against spread. So, but the Chiefs never cover. We know that. They still win. So it'll be a good game. Awesome game. Chargers traveling to Vegas. The win streak Vegas Raiders getting a point and a half at home. I got to pick the Chargers. I've been picking the teams against the Raiders, and it's been working out for my pal Rich. Brandon Staley, dipshit, say it every week. Yeah, I don't know who's going to win this game. I don't know. We'll see what Raiders team we get. If Bo Jackson Jacobs tears it up again, Raiders probably come out on top. So I like the Chargers. Abe?
I have the Chargers also. Not a lot to say. I'm doing this for Rich as well. I think Herbert's looked better and better every week. But I have the Chargers. I think Eckler scores twice this week. He's kind of struggled to get in the end zone. He got in on a pass last week, but I think Eckler scores twice this week. But I think it's going to be close. This should be a good game to watch as well.
This should be another high scoring game to watch and everything. It is at Las Vegas. I think I don't know. I thought I put it down, but I guess I did it. The weekly special for this is Jacobs over 100 rushing yards and
in the first quarter
receiving yards.
Oh,
yeah, there was no TD score. It was just 100 rushing and 50 receiving based off the game he had last week. So, and maybe that's the reason why I didn't pick it, because of the fact that they put that on as the weekly special after the game. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm going to jump all over that after the game he had last week." He's had multiple games like that this season. But yeah, I mean,
not that good,
huh?
But
yeah,
not
he's had some
good.
decent. Well, no, maybe not that.
350 yards,
not 300. I get it, but he's had multiple
he's had
games where he's had
there was like 4 or 5 in a row where he had
rushing and like 30, 40 yards receiving.
I said there was like 3 or 4 in a row where he was over 140 yards, and then Josh McDaniels just stopped running the ball. That's when I was like,
but with Renfro and Waller out, that's one thing that's helping him is his getting those receiving targets and stuff like that. With those two being out and everything, I will say this too. Look, Zamir White came in for a couple runs last week in the last game, and I had 2 runs back to back, 11 plus rushing yards and everything.
Is it good?
No, it's good and stuff like that. But it kind of leads me into look. Jacobs has been great and stuff like that. But it makes me feel good about our offensive line and everything, that it's just not Jacobs. Another running back can step in and have that kind of game if given more opportunities too.
That dude's got like 4 Brinks trucks getting ready to get backed up to his house, whatever team pays him next year.
It's what he said. Hey, he's number 1 in overall yards, rushing yards. I mean, he's killing it right now.
I still take Nick Chubb though.
I know you would.
Hey, Keelan Cole scores a touchdown this weekend, right, Rich? That was a good long shot touchdown.
Better than that, but I'll go with that.
Whatever. You're the Raiders fan. I'm just saying random names. Colts traveling to Jerry World. We're all on the Cowboys here. Colts playing another Sunday night football game. I actually played Monday night last week. Sorry. Cowboys laying 11 at home. A lot of points. Colts are dead. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, I know that's all they have. I don't know. I don't think Stafford has a chance. Like Rich said earlier, mismanagement of time, looking like Dan Campbell, not calling timeouts or calling timeouts, doing dumb shit. I mean, I just don't know why they didn't call any timeouts. Like that, when he ran that ball to make it like 3rd and 8, or it was 3rd and 8 maybe or something, he ran that ball and they don't call a timeout after that. That right there, I was like, I don't, you have 3 of them.
Hey, you know what it was is he was thinking he was still doing a high school game and everything, because in a high school game, so a lot of times they won't use their timeouts. I don't know why.
That's because they don't know when the clock stops.
So man, it was baffling, because it was. What's funny about it is even the announcers were talking about it, and you see Jeff Saturday over on the sidelines like, it's like no timeout.
Somebody's in his Jim Irsay's in here and be like, hey, you have 3 timeouts, right? I know you don't know how many timeouts you have being an offensive lineman, but you have 3 actually per half. Use one if you want.
I mean, offensive linemen, they're not allowed to call timeouts, so that's why he didn't do it.
That's not his fault.
No, they're not allowed to call.
Good point. I like that reasoning.
We're all in the Cowboys. Anybody got anything else?
No.
Saints, Bucks, Monday Night Football. Should have been a good game. I don't know. I know the Bucks have struggled against the Saints. Brady always does, or whatever. They got beat last week by Nick Chubb. Kamara looks bad because of Andy Dalton. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Tom doesn't really trust anybody. Throwing like 2-yard outs in a 2-minute drill. By the way, just throw the ball out of bounds. Don't throw a fucking 2-yard out that's going to get the guy fucking tackled and waste 30 seconds for no reason. Like, throw it out of bounds, or, if you have 3 timeouts, you can throw a fucking in cut. They're not covering the fucking middle of the field. That happened I was watching the Bucks. They didn't, and it happens all the time, though. Those little 2-yard outs the guys run. Like, what's the point of that? Anyways, I like the Bucks at home. They know, they still have an opportunity to win their division somehow. That division stinks, but both these teams, in my opinion, are declining in that division. I feel like the Panthers and the Falcons are going to kind of run that division pretty soon, which is weird to say. But I like the Bucks. Rich, Abe, you go first. We're on the same side here.
I'm taking the Bucks also -4. I've talked about this multiple times on here that Brady struggles against the Saints, but this one's at home. This is really a must-win game for Tampa Bay. I know they don't really have a lot of competition in their division, but I think Brady's probably sick and tired of people saying, "Oh, they're going to be under 500 and host a playoff game," and all that other stuff. Like, I think they win this game. I think they win it by a touchdown. It's not going to be a high-scoring game, but I just think that Brady is sick and tired of hearing that crap. I know this is a late game for Tampa Bay. He's getting a little older. Past his bedtime.
I can barely make it through these night games.
Yeah, it's past his bedtime, but I think they win by a touchdown. I think it's a low-scoring game, but ultimately Brady has to win this game, and so I think they win by a touchdown. Because I don't think the Saints
over his yards and a touchdown, by the way.
Yeah, the Saints don't have the firepower to move up and down the field. I mean, they don't. They can't. So
they got one receiver. Abe, what's his name?
Olaf.
We'll tell you later, Rich.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Going over my head on that one. So look, you said that Tom Brady doesn't have any to be trust, but I know one receiver he does trust, and that's freaking Chris damn Godwin. He had like 14 catches last week. I mean, that's the only person he looks like. It's like he has eyes for Godwin and stuff like that. But
Rodney Christopher Godwin.
There you go. Every time we talk about the Bucks winning games and stuff like that, they have these field goal games. They can't do anything and stuff like that. And this is going to be another low-scoring game. Tampa has not shown me nothing. Saints really haven't either and everything, but Saints have owned them for the past couple of years. I know Tom has some wins in there sprinkled in and stuff like that, but it's the Saints. They always have, it's a good division game between them two every single time. It's usually low scoring. Every once in a while it's high scoring, but every game this year with Tampa Bay, it just seems like they're low scoring games and stuff like that. Can't generate offense. I don't know if Fournette's going to be out again. Don't know what's going on with him, but yeah, I'm picking Saints, and I got the Saints under 17.5 total points for the game.
Hey, I like that a lot, Rich. I like that a lot because
just for the
Monday Night Football games,
total
game just for the Saints.
I mean, the Monday Night Football games usually go under, and the Saints just don't have firepower. They just don't have anyone that can score. So, and for some reason, they don't like the ball to Kamara. They like giving it to their tight end. So
I missed what you were saying, Nate.
I thought you were saying like the actual total. That's all they're going to score.
No, this is just for the Saints total score.
Damn it, that'd be a good alternate total bet. I'd probably make you a lot of money if you hit that one. I just added a bet too. I said Browns first drive touchdown. Sorry, I meant to say it earlier. It's been a long day. But yeah, that is a good bet, Rich. I'm big on that. I like that. Saints under 17.5. Like I said, I don't know who. I feel like Kamara's averaging like 2.2 yards a carry.
Yeah, he just has not been. I had the opportunity to steal him this week in Frankensteak, and I chose not to. I was like, I can't jump on board with him right now. Just they have not shown me anything that they know how to utilize him. I don't think it's all Kamara. I think it's just the coaching and the way they're playing right now. Just
Andy Dalton.
It's horrible and stuff like that. Yeah. So I know Nate's over, not Nate, Abe's over there getting ready for the long shot of the week. I'll go ahead and start out with our long shots of the week. I was talking earlier about I thought I wrote down this stat and everything. I did. It was my long shot of the week. Jacobs 100 plus rushing yards, plus 50 receiving yards, plus 900. I'm
I
a
like
fool
that.
for jumping on the bandwagon from last week.
I like that. My long shot is some money lines, just because there's not a lot of player props out right now.
Yeah.
I'm parlaying 3 money lines: the Lions, the Titans, and the Chiefs money line. That gets you to a plus 845. You get all 3 of those, put $10 down, you win 85. Lions, Titans, and Chiefs money line. Kind of a long shot for a couple of close spreads, a couple of teams on the road. So that's my long shot.
Nate, Abe, it is Dollars to Deuces educational moment of the week. Please explain to everybody what money line is.
Go ahead, Nate.
Oh, just go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just
You want me to?
a team to win outright, like no
Yes.
spread, just straight up winner. So if you're taking the Jets money line, that it doesn't matter if obviously they're the underdog anyways, but it's just the Jets to win is the money line. So
No points involved. Don't have to win
points.
by. You can win by 1 or you can win by 30 as long as you hit them. As long as that team you say is going to hit, that's the money line.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm glad that Rich reminds us of these little educational things.
Yeah.
That's what the E's for, educational.
There you go. That's what it's going for. That's what it will be for. What's funny about it is I know we discussed this, and I know a lot of people understand this and everything. But I've been throwing these nuggets out there and everything, just to kind of educate. And it's funny because I was talking with my son about it this week.
You're teaching your 15-year-old son how to gamble. I like that. Respect the hell out of that
He went
move.
through and picked up. He made his picks this last week and didn't do good and stuff like that. But it's just something I was talking about and stuff like that. And I'm trying to explain certain things like that too. So every time we start talking about,
you should explain to him to just not do it. Best way to win at it's not do it. I think.
Yes, don't get started.
True. But like I said, every once in a while it pops in my head. You know what? Let's explain something to the audience here.
It's a good idea.
My long shot is another money line, kind of like Abe. I stole what he wanted to do, but I got the Jets, Jags, and Bengals. So 2 teams. Actually, Abe and I have 2 games against each other. We picked the opposites on. Mine's about the same odds. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Those are both ones that we picked on opposite sides of the spread. So hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Thanksgiving. And it's December tomorrow. That's weird. Into our confidence pool deal. If you haven't been following along, we picked 5 spreads. We lock them in Wednesday nights. I know a lot of times they'll change, and I don't think we say this enough to shop your books. We can get all our odds from DraftKings, but shop the book, because there's some places. There's a show I listen to, and a guy, and gets them early. He got the Packers at 7.5. I don't think it ended. A lot of people didn't have that, just stuff like that. So shop where you're going to make all your bets at. But we lock these in Wednesday night. If you have the correct pick, you get 1 point. If you push, you get half a point. And if you are wrong, you get 0 points. So Abe has been dominating this. I've been trying to keep up. So is Rich. I had 3 points last week. Rich had, I just went
Numero uno.
One.
Rich went 11-5, but as he mentioned earlier, he only had 1 of his top 5. So
yeah, and Abe had 4 points. What I think I'll go to him real quick. We got fuck it, and I won't. Anyways, this week I like the Cowboys minus 11, Eagles minus 5.5, Bucks minus 4, Jaguars minus 1, and Ravens minus 8. A little rough on that last one, but I was kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. So Abe.
I have Cowboys minus 11 also. I have Bucks minus 4, Titans plus 5.5, Lions plus 1, and Dolphins plus 4.
So I am jumping on board with you, Cowboys minus 11. I am taking Titans at plus 5.5. I am taking the Packers minus 4.5. Sorry, guys. Falcons minus 1 and Seahawks minus 7.5.
So we should bet the Colts. We're all on the Cowboys.
Yeah, definitely. There's your nugget right there.
Yeah,
Colts plus
if
11.
you learn one thing from this hour and 15 minutes of us getting mad at our teams, it's that. So I don't think we got anything else.
Hey, I do have one more thing on the Packers Bears game. Randy Cobb dominates the Bears in Chicago. So if Rodgers plays, which it sounds like he is, that's another good player prop to look at is Randy Cobb. He does really well in Chicago, and Rodgers, it sounds like, may have Dobbs back also this week. So Randy Cobb probably his numbers are probably going to be low. So that's someone to keep an eye on for maybe even to score a touchdown or over his receiving yards or not really receptions, but he's one guy that Rodgers looks to for a lot of chain moving. I did not have that earlier, but as one person I thought of that really does well in Chicago.
And you
I'm glad you said that because I had to pick up a receiver, and he was who I picked up off the waiver.
I picked Cobb up a couple weeks ago when he came back off the IR, and it's actually been pretty decent. So.
Yeah, serviceable.
Yeah. So hell yeah. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all next week. Hit us up on Twitter at Toads Titles. You can find all our names on the show notes. If you follow us on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys got anything else before we get out of here?
Have a great week.
So keep staying positive and testing negative. And like I've been saying, you go control one thing every day when you wake up, and it's your attitude. So have a good one, boys and girls.